Hello everyone, and welcome to another exciting interview by Financial Insight. This particular interview is very special because we are at the home of HLB Zambia, right here in Lusaka, Zambia. HLB Zambia has been a long-time friend of Financial Insight. They sponsored Financial Insight on our inaugural launch of the flagship website, www.fizambia.com. They've continued to remain our strategic partner, and we are super proud to be a part of the next chapter in their journey. Join me in this interview to find out about the Tax Indaba 2025, powered by HLB Zambia. Welcome back. As I'd indicated, that this is a very special interview, and with me to just talk a little bit about the strategic intent of HLB Zambia is one of the partners at HLB who's in charge of transfer pricing, Mr. Nyasha. Nyasha, how are you doing?
Hi, Mwelwa. How are you?
I'm great, and thank you so much for hosting us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always a pleasure to come and visit, the folks at HLB. But for many people that are not, socialized by who Nyasha is, are you able to tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at HLB?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mwelwa, once again. My name is Nyasha Nigel Machiri. I'm a partner at HLB, heading the tax and transfer pricing department. That's pretty much what I do.
Absolutely.
If I'm to go, I'll go all day.
I know. And they say that accountants normally don't talk a lot, but I will ask you to just dive into a little bit about, some of the products and services that HLB provides to its customers.
All right, so basically, an overview of HLB. HLB is an accounting and advisory firm that offers comprehensive suite of services to empower businesses as well as individuals. And our expertise spans to audit and assurance, accounting, advisory, tax services, where I'm based in, as well as HRR, immigration services, and among many other things. And I think it's important to share that, in HLB, from a global perspective, as a network, is ranked number 8 on a global scale. I think that's something that is remarkable for HLB.
That's actually quite impressive, and I can imagine, having that sort of standing on a global stage. You've obviously been nicely positioned to observe, critical trends that need to be addressed. And I guess this is where we find ourselves at this particular inflection point with the Tax Indaba. Are you just able to just tell us and share with us, what specific friction points in Zambia's current economic environment prompted you and the team to say, we have to do this Tax Indaba?
Yeah, definitely. I think what prompted this is the disconnect between the tax administration, tax policy, as well as what's happening on the ground as far as what taxpayers are facing, be it businesses, be it individuals. There is a disconnect between these segments. That is the policymaker, the implementer, in this case, which is the Zambia Revenue Authority, as well as the taxpayers. You see that there has been an increase in terms of the complexity around the tax landscape in Zambia. You see that there is a limitation in terms of the stakeholder engagement as far as policy is concerned. And there has been some inconsistencies surrounding the implementation of the tax legislation. So because of that gap, we thought we should bring this conversation in one room where we get to talk about everything from start to bottom. Start being the policy formulation, and being the implementation, which is obviously done by Zambia Revenue Authority. So if we can get to these people in one room and have a coordinated conversation, then we can achieve something for the betterment of our economy. That is what prompted this event.
Right now, obviously, HLB has been nicely positioned because you've obviously been in the Zambian market for quite some time, and one would like to imagine that there's a diverse collection of stakeholders that you're, hoping to bring to the table to have this high-level discourse. What sort of key outcomes are you hoping to achieve with the Indaba, as well as, what is the dynamic you're hoping to spark when you get, some of these senior figures that you've just even mentioned about bringing the tax authority, and we anticipate that you'll most likely have, mining CEOs as well as tech entrepreneurs.
I think the main objective of this event, Mwelwa, is to bring alignment. Alignment in terms of understanding, alignment in terms of expectations, and look at tax from a holistic approach, a holistic perspective, where we don't have to isolate conversations. No doubt there's been a lot of conversations around the topic of taxation, but you see that these conversations has been isolated. If it's Minister of Finance or the government, they are looking at this conversation from how can this policy sustain the economic growth. If it's from a ZRI perspective, they are looking at probably from compliance, do's and don'ts. From tax advisors like ourselves, we are looking at advising clients as from probably tax planning. Taxpayers, they are looking more into how best can I pay the least possible tax. So these conversations have been happening everywhere, but in isolation. So we need to bring this conversation in one room where we say, okay, we are sitting here, we're providing a platform where we need to discuss everything from start to end. And ultimately, the goal of this tax event is to say, when people go, this tax event is supposed to catalyze collaboration amongst stakeholders. That is taxpayers, business owners, innovators, CEOs, the government, advisors like ourselves. There has to be some synchronization in terms of how do we see the tax system if we are to achieve economic growth. I think that's just basically what we're looking into.
Right. Now, obviously, to have these high-level conversations, one also has to think about the type of panelists that you're going to have and the sort of delegates that you'll be attracting, the key speakers of this particular event. Are you able to just give us a snippet of how the composition of key delegates as well as speakers and panelists that you're hoping to attract for this event?
Definitely, Mwelwa. The delegates are in for a treat. I can assure you that. We have representations from Ministry of Finance. We have representations from Zambia Revenue Authority. We have key industry experts from different entities as well as for other firms. And obviously, to mention, experts from HLB. We are bringing in also international organizations that advocate for fairness of taxation. They're coming on board. We're working with Center of Trade and Policy and Development. They're coming on board, and there's going to be a lot of panelists who are going to be sharing the expertise and for the betterment of the delegates. But they're in for a treat.
Absolutely. And maybe just say on a final note, obviously people will be very curious. How do they attend this event? When is it going to be? Where is it going to be? Where can they get information about the coming Tax Indaba?
Okay, so the information is pretty much on our website and our social media platforms, but I'll unpack most of the important information, which is the dates. This is happening on the 25th to the 26th of September 2025. It's a 2-day event, and it's going to happen at Sarova. And for registration, please just go on our website or follow any of our social platforms, or just write an email to HLB, info@hlb.co.zm. And you'll be sent the link for registration and everything you need. It's self-explanatory. Payment, just 6,000 kwacha.
All right, that's a bargain. For the sort of knowledge that delegates are going to get.
Exactly. The knowledge behind, or the notion behind, is not to make money out of it. Is to spark conversations that will lead to the betterment of the economy, looking from a tax perspective or from the lenses of taxation. That's all we're doing.
Right. Nyasha, thank you so much for sharing the insights on the coming Tax Indaba.
Thank you so much, Mwelwa, for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's always a pleasure. And, you know, to our viewers, stay tuned for more insights ahead of the coming Tax Indaba right here on the Financial Insight platform. I've been your host for this particular conversation, Mwelwa Chibesakunda, and as we always say at Financial Insight, get to know.